Hello students, welcome back. So now I'm going to show you how you can connect to a database using SQLite Studio. So the first thing you want to do is download this SQLite Studio graphical user interface if you do not have that. And the way you download is go to this website. So let's go to internet, come over here and type SQLite Studio and hit enter. And that's going to take you to this page right here. Click on SQLite Studio. And in my case, I have Windows, so I'm going to download the window version. Click on download, and depending on your computer speed, it's going to download that anywhere between few seconds to few minutes. And there you go, it's downloaded. In my case, I'm going to double click this and wait for it. And this fires up. Now you're going to see this Windows protected your PC. Maybe you may or may not see your message. This thing. In my case, I'm seeing this message. Let's click on more info, and then you're going to see this option run anyway. So click on run anyway, and then it's going to ask you, do you want to allow this app from an unknown publisher to make changes to your device? Click on yes. All right, and let's wait for it, and there you go. Now it's going to ask you a series of questions. So all right, I accept the agreement. Next. And associate SQLite file extension with SQLite Studio. Yes, I'm going with the default option, and this is where I want my SQLite Studio. Click on next and next. And this could take anywhere between few seconds to few minutes. So let's wait for it. All right, now it's finished. So finish this, and that's going to launch your SQLite Studio. And there you go. Okay, so this tool, this SQLite Studio, it allows us to add a database, connect to a database, create tables, add records, delete records, and many other SQL related operations. So let's add a database first through this graphical user interface. That's what your GUI stands for. So I'm going to go to database, click browse on files, and I'm going to follow these steps right here. So let's come over here and let me move this guy over here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to follow these steps like the way it's written over there. So database, so you're going to see this database option right here, add database. And then after that, you're going to see this browse option, click on browse. And I have a folder called Gemini, that's on my desktop. So just go to, just create a folder. In this case, I just created Gemini. So click on Gemini and then enter the name of the database that you want to enter. So I'm going to put market. Okay, so that's the name of our database is market. So select, and that's going to create a market database. You can see that it gets created. Click on OK, and now you're going to see this market database. Okay, so your market database has been created. Now we're gonna after then right click on the market DB and connect to the database. Now we're gonna connect to the database. So right now this database has been created, but it has not been connected yet. So click on this and right click, and now you're gonna see this option, connect to the database. Connect to the database, and after as soon as you click on connect to the database, you're gonna see this tables and views. Okay, now let's see the next step. So now I'm going to right click on the table and create table, and then I'm going to enter the following information. So I'll come over here, right click over here and create table. You're going to see this create table options. Click on this, and let me move this guy over here. All right, so let me increase the size of the screen, by the way. On a side note, the reason my screen is looking a little dark and your screen may not be dark is because I have set up this way. So I actually went to tools and I clicked on this open configuration dialog, and let me just move this guy over here, and over here I actually went to look and feel. You can click on style. So I actually choose this Fusion dark. That's why my screen is looking a little dark. And my fonts are big because I went to the font and I changed these font size by clicking on this. This is how my font is looking big. Okay, coming back to this. So let's enter the table name. So table name is fruits. So come over here, type fruits. All right, that's my table name. Now click over here at empty space, and that's going to give you a little option to create a name of the column. So column name right here. Okay, the column name that I'm going to be using would be this right here. Column name is going to be fruit ID, data type is integer, constraint is primary key. So come back over here and type column name, fruit ID, fruit ID. All right, and let me just put F over there, and F fruit ID. Data type, it's an integer, so I'm going to choose integer, and it's a primary key. That's my primary key. So make sure you select primary key. Click on OK, and that column has been added. Now you can see that fruit ID, integer, primary key. This column has been added. Let's add another column. We're going to add another column that will be called fruit name. and it's a data type text. So come over here, double click over here, and there you go. This could be called fruit name, and data type is a text. So let's call it text right here, text, and that's it. We're not going to check any one of these options. Okay, we're going to leave this thing blank. All right, click on OK, and now you're going to see fruit name text, and you see we did not check any options, so everything is blank over here. All right, then we're going to move on to the next step, and then we are going to commit. So come back over here, and you're going to see this commit option right here. So unless you don't commit, this is not going to get changed on your database. So these tables are not, these names would not be get created unless you commit first. So let's commit. Now it's going to ask you that, hey, I'm sending this particular SQL query to the database, is that what you want? And the answer is yes. So basically your SQLite has created this SQL query for you. So I click on OK, and there you go. So now you see this message, committed changes for table fruits successfully. You're going to see this message successfully. That means there is a table called fruits over here. So if you click over here, you can see fruits right there. Okay, let's enter some data in there now. So now I'm going to enter following two fruits in my database in that particular table. I'm going to add one grapes, two oranges. All right, let's do that. So come over here and you see these fruits over here. Click on this, double click on this, and you're going to see this option right here. You're going to see structure, data, constraint, and all this thing. So click on data because you want to enter data over here. And you see this plus. So this is going to allow you to insert a row. So click on plus and there you go. Now let's enter the fruit. The first fruit I'm entering with ID 1. And in this case, the name of the fruit, let's go back and check. The name of the fruit is grape. So I'm going to enter grape over here. And let's just come over here, grapes. All right, so this is my grapes, hit enter. And let's add another one. In this case, click on plus. Let's add another one. In this case, let's say 2. And the name of the fruit would be, let's come back over here, orange. So I'm going to add orange over here. So in this case, click on orange. All right. So now I have two fruits, 1 and 2, grapes and orange. Okay, and so now we're going to commit this. So the way you commit is click on this right here. That's going to commit your changes. Click on this, and now your table has been successfully populated. You can see that. So now I'm going to close this, and I'm going to reopen this table and go to data. And there you go. You can see that your table has been populated. You can see fruit ID, grape, 2 oranges. All right, so this is how you can create one table with the data in it using graphical user interface. And then also make sure you do a commit at the end when you enter these tables or this data in the tables. Okay, now I'm going to show you how you can delete the table. So for that, right click on the table and select delete the table. That's all it is. So come back over here and you see this over here, just right click and you're going to see this option delete the table. Click on delete the table and it's going to ask you, do you want this to be, are you sure you want to continue? Click on yes, and your table has been deleted now. Now I'm going to show you how you can create the same table using SQL statement. For that, we're going to be using a SQL editor. So go to SQLite Studio, go to Tools, and open up your SQL editor. So come back over here, go to Tools, that is right there, and you're going to see Open SQL Editor. Click on that, and you're going to see this screen appear. So let me just increase the size of the screen, and this is where you can enter your SQL statement. So let me increase the size of this a little bit more. All right. Okay, so the statement that I'll be entering would be this right here. Let me just increase the size. All right. So the statement that I'll be entering would be this: create table fruits. So I want to create a table called fruits, and in this case, I want a column called fruit ID and a column called fruit name. And my fruit ID is an integer, and it is going to be a primary key. And my fruit name is going to be another column with just value text right here. So let's click on the. Let me just copy and paste this, and come back over here and paste it over here. And there you go. So now it's going to create this column. Let me just increase the size. All right. And remove this. Okay. So it's going to create. Let me just come over here. Okay. Create table fruits. Let me just remove these fancy characters. Fruit ID. Okay. This is good. And okay. Yeah. Okay, so create table fruits, fruit ID, integer primary key, fruit name. All right, everything looking good. So just make sure this is select. Just make sure your cursor is over there, and you see this button right here, execute query. Click on execute query, and then you're gonna see this message: query finished in 0.004 second. That means this particular table has been created. So if you come over here, you're going to see fruits table. That table now got created from this query. Okay, now let's enter some data in there. So in this case, I'm gonna enter this data right here. Oh, where is that? this one right here. So I'm going to insert some records into this thing. So let me just copy and paste, come back over here, put it over here, and all right, let me paste it. Now, since I'm copying from that PowerPoint, it actually copies these like fancy characters, so I have to manually go delete that. Okay, so insert. There you go. Insert into fruits, fruit ID, fruit name, values, and what values am I inserting? I'm inserting these values. One grape, and then let me remove this one too. All right, there you go. And you see this fancy character. Let me remove this. Okay, so I'm insert into fruits, fruit ID, fruit name, values, one, grapes, two, oranges. All right, let me just remove this one and put a correct quote. All right, so let's run this now. And this is going to insert those two records. So when I run this, and you can see the query finished in 0.06006 seconds, rows affected too. That means anytime when you see the message rows affected, that tells you that two rows has been created. Now if you go to fruits, double click on this, and you're going to see these two records in there. Let me just increase the size of this, come back over here, click on data, and there you go, one orange, one grape, and two oranges. So we added these two in two rows, and these two rows has been created now. And now I'm going to select everything from the fruit table. So select star from fruits. This is a SQL statement that I'm going to run. That's going to select everything from that table. So come over here and let me hit enter a few times and just type select everything star from fruits and semicolon and run this, and that's going to give you those records. So if I increase the size of the screen, and there you go, you can see that it actually selected those two those two records. You're able to see that now. All right, fruit ID and fruit name, one grape, two oranges. Okay, so now I showed you two different ways you can enter data into SQLite. You can either use your graphical user interface right here, or you can use this SQL statement right here directly. So they both allow you to enter data into your database.